Good morning to you all. First of all, I'd like to thank God for this time that given to all of us. Today, we are gathered here with the party of Agrieve, All Nagaland Pharmacy Association. Before we begin further, I would like to introduce this my friend to you all. This is on my right, Lima, the General Secretary of the All Nagaland Pharmacy Association. Puluta, President of Kohima District Pharmacy Association. Tolibo, the Treasurer, Kohima Pharmacy Association. Sister Sikosa, the Assistant Gist of Kohima Pharmacy Association. On my left, Hyacinth, the President of the Parent District Pharmacy Association. And Michael, the Secretary of the Parent District. Today we are here to highlight some of our grievances to the government for what is happening around here in the many part of the social media. Also, I would like to thank the media friends for coming and covering up of this particular time. The reason that we are here is like we have got something to tell to this, even to the government and even to the public, for what is happening here. The issues as they reach us, they have given the show cause notice in the year of 2021. So from 21 onwards, we are getting with these issues till today. We would like to make it very clear to the people of Nagaland that these issues is not only 5 years, 10 years. These issues has started from the time of since the existence of the Nagaland states. So it has got these 40, 50 years issues is there. Now with this, the 40, 50 years of the issues that we have today, now the states is the shortage, the state is facing of this one, and where we have this from all over the 14th district, which is affiliate to our association today. And because of this, the transportation, because of this, the weather, the other district could not turn out. Only this around here could able to be here this morning. As we said earlier, these issues that we would like to let our, the people also to know, something like we are doing for the people of Nagas in general as a whole. We are not doing just for the business, but this is our service that we also been contributing to the society. Our contribute, instead of acknowledging of our contribution, now we are facing this kind of thing. Now many pharmacies across the states have been closed down because of the show cause notice and the cancellation order. In later on, all these details will be, briefing you. As we said earlier, these are some of the things that today we are here. So before we go further, I will give time to my secretary to highlight some of these the things which has been, the said and written for all of us today.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to thank the media fraternity for covering this event. Now, in the first place, we want to portray our grievances as well as our, the conclusion that we have come to after going through in-depth study of the matter. So I'll go through the points one by one. So, now we all know that in February 2025, the issue of closure of pharmacies without pharmacists came to the fore and caught widespread media coverage and scrutiny. There were many instances where the pharmacy community was demonized. We were even portrayed as running our pharmacies illegally, which is not factual. In fact, we are also a victim of the corrupt system. The general public as well as our media was made to consume only one side of the story. ANBA could have, but chose not to react at that point of time. That is during February, March. Instead, we decided to have an in-depth study of the ground reality as well as the implications of the department's action on the overall health sector of our state. Now, I want to stress on this because in the tussle between the department and the pharmacy community, it will be the general public that will suffer. That is the point I want to stress. Now, at the present point of time, ANBA has done our bit. We have called this press conference so as to provide facts and figures and our side of the story for public consumption and cognizance by the Department of Health and Family Welfare as well as the Government of India. Now, I've said that we are also a victim of the corrupt system. Now, why I'm saying this is the point. Now, how the pharmacies are run in Nagaland? How are the pharmacies run in Nagaland? Because it is not a vegetable shop. It's not a vegetable shop, so we cannot just blindly open a pharmacy. There are certain systems we have to follow. Now, the procedure that is in the system, that's the system that is being followed by the department is our pharmacy licenses are issued by the Health and Family Welfare Department, wherein they provided the name of the registered pharmacies and their registration number. We were asked to pay a certain amount for the license which each licensee has paid. Then the licenses were renewed after every 5 years. Renewal fees are charged from each licensee. This process has continued till the early part of 2024. Now, moi ade kiba ita kobole mon ase. Moi ade license ekta thikai dibo. Itu license te apuni video bar cover koru mon chale dibi, that will be very good. Yate department ba dia doile SR Chaudhary is a pharmacist, person qualified in charge to look after this pharmacy. His registration number is 334. Now, system to kina thakise bole do we are laymen. One layman ase. Aru moen ba jania taktu ile Department of Health and Family Welfare ba moenge itu pharmacy license to di when one jani luise. So what we did is when application likhina jana department ge, we asked for a license, a pharmacy license. Moen jana itu dise department ba ki korise taien ba itu ready kori dise aru after a few days all of tin bichide avni la license to ready hoiside lole ina hoise acha ona moen jaise jaina moen license utha demde license la fee doile iman hobo de ina hoise moen itu di dise. Now department bra moen ide jani ase de moen ide jani ase. The actual system is when apply gura demne moen asol doile moen pharmacist la certificate luena jabo lage. Department never asked us for the certificate. Holi then nami likhina disido to moen to bhabise maybe the department assigns someone to look after our pharmacies. To moen to itu follow guse. Ina ona moen pharmacy to run Greek organize. That is the reason why I'm saying that our business is not illegal. We have been running our pharmacies legally. Legally run Greek moen. The other point I want to stress is, Aunian media and general public department is claiming that since 2020 ba itula notice to tia suru hoise. Holibi Moen pharmacy community land knowledge diduele, the first notification we got was in September of 2021. 2021. Yade, I want everyone to think about this. I have a retention certificate in my hand. This is the retention certificate of a certain pharmacy that is provided by the department. Now, itula retention certificate to it was given in 2023, and this license is valid till December of 2028. To department wale 2021, 2020 ba itola pharmacy pon gole pharmacist to mandatory hobo when aten chanina asu gole do. Why did they issue it? It retention certificate as there. Holy they issued new pharmacy licenses even in 2024. Now how is the department functioning? It was a big question that that is the reason why we are saying we are a victim of the system. We are a victim of the system. Ito ikta siya. The other point I want to stress is Department of Health and Family Welfare started issuing orders to the pharmacies to appoint a registered pharmacist in the later part of 2021. Pharmacists in Nagaland took cognizance of the order and hence pharmacy union was formed in each district and efforts were made to appoint registered pharmacists, and at the same time representations were submitted to the department citing the difficulties faced by the pharmacists due to the shortage of qualified pharmacists and appealing for extension of time. When 2 months, 3 months in a department extension do it. Of course that part we acknowledge. But when the department started implementing the policy with earnestness, the need for a state-level association was felt necessary, and hence, All Nagaland Pharmacy Association was formed on the 13th of March 2025. Yadi ekta when clarify gole munjado, itula issue nula raktuile Nagaland Pharmacists kan affairs kan doile Nagaland Medical Dealers Association bra so side heiche. But when this issue came to the fore, when NMD give one approach kurise, but Tainla initiative to we were not satisfied. They didn't even call for a single consultative meeting of the other districts. So what happened was that the issue was going on. The closure of pharmacy was at hand. So what we decided was that we have to stand on our own. Itula understanding bra on the initiative of Kohima Pharmacy Union when state kangi mati luise inauna Nagaland All Nagaland Pharmacy Association do 13 March 2025 the form gurise. Still now Dimapur Chimagatima aro Newland duile NMD rai rukhaina ase. They are unable to join us. But we want to send this message to the NMDA that we have no differences with NMDA. Our goal is the same, so that is the reason why we appeal to NMDA that it will be much better for all the pharmacy community if we can work together. When you do la message we portray gole munaje. Now NMDA form gura bichide when NMDA ba kam gura kuno ina ase. NMDA, as a first step, approached the department and submitted a representation to the principal director and the controlling and licensing authority, praying for a reasonable extension of time, but the answer we got was negative. Therefore, we decided to approach both the department as well as the government. We therefore submitted another representation to the Commissioner and Secretary, Health and Family Welfare, but again, the response was negative. Then we have submitted a representation to our Honorable Chief Minister of Nagaland, and the response is still awaited. We have also approached our Honorable Minister Health and Family Welfare, but we were denied appointment. We therefore sent a representation to the stenographer to our Honorable Minister. When Pabishe Health and Family Welfare Law Minister Duhile, since he represents the whole Nagaland, we thought that he will be the right person to approach. Ito ang when man approach ko ulit try guche, he is reluctant to give us appointment. Even his senior BS is reluctant to meet us. Maybe they are occupied with some other works. We do not know. But I think we expect our concerned minister to at least meet us and hear our grievances, whatever be the outcome. We have also been trying to meet our Chief Secretary, but is yet to get an appointment. Chief Secretary, when Bishibar Lopole try Guriaze, appointment netigina ase. Now, at the same time, when itu kure noena representation kani dia noena on an individual capacity as well as organizational capacity, when pharmacists to appoint globally try kure ase. When actually ke motop kure na appoint globally try kure ase, but the fact is Nagaland does not have pharmacists. Nagaland does not have pharmacists. I will come to that point later on in more detail. Holibi when achidak TV when season successfully employed when achidak TV. We are putting in our efforts. Now the department at some point of time has claimed that we never took cognizance of their notice. No, we have taken it very seriously. We have taken it very seriously. That is the reason why organizations were formed, and we are putting in efforts. We are putting in efforts. Holibi subji na thaya na mansun na bagay na mansun lode bat khabi bole do ito to bisi problem dangor hwa nisina ho jise moenla problem do. We don't have qualified pharmacists in our state. Enough pinoko. We don't have qualified pharmacists in our state. So itulah situation ekta de moen they are forcing us to employ a registered pharmacist at any cost. Now how do we go about? Are we ready? One point stress if the department can, think about the matter seriously, and since we are also stakeholders, if they can invite us, maybe together we can come up with a workable solution. That is also an appeal to the Department of Health and Family Welfare. Now, the other point I want to stress upon is ANBA fully understands the requirements mandated by law, and we are willing to abide by it. When pharmacists narakibo guanuide, now only we are coming to know that mandatory as a pharmacist to rakibo lage. Well, we want to employ the pharmacists, but give us some solutions. That is what we are asking. That is what we are asking the department. Now, this is also very important. See, Nagaland being the only state in India without a pharmacy institute is faced with acute shortage of qualified pharmacists. India being a developed country with inadequate manpower to mitigate the shortfall of qualified pharmacists has even introduced diploma and pharmacy courses but still cannot produce enough pharmacists. Moreover, no state in India has thus far successfully implemented this policy. In fact, according to our controlling and licensing authority, Nagaland is the first state trying to implement this policy. Now, yadi ekta khota aje. Nagaland even union directories to be soap the pharmacy institute aje. Nagaland is the only state in India which doesn't have even a single pharmacy institute. And even the Nagaland government is unable to send adequate number of students to study pharmacy courses on government quota. Now, what is their plan of action? How do they mitigate the problem? Because they know very well that there's a problem. But we don't see any efforts on the part of the department as well as the government of Nagaland to mitigate this problem. Sabi, advanced countries can, European countries can kikian dito diploma in pharmacy no loide. Tan la minimum qualification do ile bachelors in pharmacy aje. Holy India dito manpower nai do. India is still a developing country. We don't have enough manpower. Ito ba tan pharmacy diploma in pharmacy course be introduced ko dise. But still shortfall do ile bishi aje. Other states, ajikali do Google grosi ile sob pachani lo. Alag states can decide Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, and Ladi Saisabi. 50-60 institutes. There are 50-60 institutes in those states. How many pharmacies are they producing each year? Nagaland is the only state without a pharmacy institute. To government la plan of action to be here. Our still other states can one pharmacy institute tagilibi then itula policy to implement go na parnas de. No state has successfully implemented this policy. In fact, in some states, the matter has been litigated. It is under litigation. So, Nagaland to utilize condition our controlling and licensing authority has proudly told us that Nagaland is the first state to try to implement this policy. Are we in a position to implement this policy? I think it's a big question that the public deserves an answer. The public deserves an answer to this. Now, if you look at the ground reality based on various data, the ratio of pharmacists in Nagaland to the number of pharmacists in Nagaland to the number of registered pharmacists is quite disproportionate. As per the data provided by the department and published by the Nagaland Post on the 14th of February 2025, there are 1,157 pharmacies in Nagaland. Ito pharmacy khuli na thani aside. License lui na pharmacy no khulian do kiman 1,000 ho ito do when kuhona paro. Ito do data collect kursi kuli do. I don't think it will be a small number. Whereas there are only 278 registered pharmacies according to the Department of Health and Family Welfare. Now, let's work it out. Tainba Nagaland Post kwa isap dito, aro Nagaland Post publish kwa isap dito, 1,157 operational pharmacies in Nagaland. Whereas Tainba data provide kwa dole 278 registered pharmacies in Nagaland. Out of 278, 252 the government employees are there. So, government employees cannot run a pharmacy. So let's put them out of the picture. Now, how much are we left? We have 26 pharmacies left in Nagaland to look after 1,157 pharmacies. Ito ikta ase. When la grievances be ito ase. The other point, I think this is very important. Impact of the policy on the public health sector. NBA, after thorough analysis of the ground reality, is of the view that if the government is to implement this policy in its entirety, will put the public health sector in complete disarray. Here are some data in support of our views and for the consumption of both the general public as well as the department. Even in Kohima, the state capital, some colonies like AG, Merilita, Leary, etc. will be left without a single pharmacy. Pabisayo point Kohima la where there. Our AG colony, the largest colony in Kohima. Government by pharmacy sop to shut down go disigulido. Leary dido ekta pharmacy bi napachibo, Merilita dibi ekta pharmacy bi napachibo, AG colony dibi ekta pharmacy bi napachibo. To itya stop ekta 18 rupees for kiniwole colonial pharmacy di kini thado. The nearest place they can go is Pier Hill. Just think of the inconveniences caused to the public. Our rati bimar ekta hosi kiba ekta hosi ule. Even basic medicines bi dibo na parule. Even a simple headache, probably manu muri jai. Holibi suddenly rati di bimar hosi ule do. To kud par lobo. Morning no hada isorge morom mugi morning dak no morai diude wena rukhabo na ge. Ito last situation ekta de ase. That is about Kohima. Let's look at the data of some districts. Melori, Shamadur, Peg. Melori di presently 6 pharmacies ase. Pharmacy choita ase. Tate ekta bi registered pharmacist nai. Shamadur di 4ta pharmacy ase. Ekta bi registered pharmacist nai. Peg district de 34 pharmacies ase. Tate 2ta in-service pharmacies ase. So in-service pharmacies can do la license to cancel korbo lage. So just think about this. Melori, Shamadur, Peg can do ile whole district without a single pharmacy run korbo ase. Public la health to kila position ekta de rakhi diwo. So ito district headquarter an lai ase. Now think about the subdivisions and rural areas. There will be complete chaos There will be complete chaos. Now we want to ask the department, the wider question is the department in a position to fill the vacuum? Time pharmacy so bond korbo. To time la policy to ki ase? We're going to close down all the pharmacies, and in the meantime we are going to do this so that the public doesn't suffer. Time itula point of action ektabi ase na ne? Time la concrete policy ektabi ase na ne? I don't think so. Now another point we wish to stress upon is that there is no case in Nagaland where a patient's life was either lost or put in jeopardy because of wrong medications administered by any pharmacy. In fact, everyone must refresh our memory and think of the services provided by the pharmacists during the recent pandemic, that is, COVID-19 pandemic, when the department or the government was in no position to even provide basic medicines to the general public. Now, at that point of time, the burden and responsibility was borne by the same pharmacies that the government and the department is trying to shut down. Ito to one so public, general public भी हुई, कुन बार भी नहीं को ना पड़ो. COVID-19 तो किला situation था इसे. Pharmacy and thake na yule kuti jawa thai je. Was the government even in a position to provide even basic medicines? No. What if another pandemic comes? Transition to smooth ho lage do. Transition has to be smooth. There must be a solution. There must be a solution. Of course, we are not saying that the policy is bad. Nagaland has to move forward. Nagaland has to move forward. So, of course, changes has to be brought about. But these kind of drastic decisions will put a huge vacuum in the public health sector. That is what we are observing. Now, the other point is, health is a state subject as per the constitutional provisions, meaning any state can frame health policies that is relevant and applicable to their state. Then the question is the government of Nagaland and the Department of Health and Family Welfare Department equipped adequately to step in and fill the void? Now I want to ask the department, do we even have a Nagaland specific health policy? If there is, make it known to the public. But I think the answer is a big no. Our government is unable even to appoint qualified pharmacists in all the government-run health units. When shortage of pharmacists face growth to a certain policy implement guruna, let the transition be smooth. Now, in conclusion, ANBA is not against the department or the policy in question. But we are of the opinion that Nagaland is not equipped to implement this health policy at the present point of time. We are hopeful that the department would come up with some workable arrangements till such time our state will have pharmacy institutes and sufficient qualified manpower to provide healthcare to the general public unhindered. In the meantime, we appeal to the department as well as the government to allow us to operate our pharmacies till such time the department comes up with a concrete health policy that is relevant to our state and that the public health care is not left in a vacuum. We assure that on our part, all our efforts, both individually and on an organizational capacity, shall be made to employ a qualified registered pharmacist. So, in conclusion, when last day do appeal gole monaze, when we try nukuranwe, we have done our best, we are trying our best, and we shall put in extra efforts in the days to come. But we want both the general public as well as the Department of Health and Family Welfare as well as the government of Nagaland to look into the matter seriously. And come up with a workable solution for the interim period till such time when we have enough pharmacists to take the mantle. So that the transition will be smooth, the public will not suffer, and everyone, irrespective of whether someone lives in the cities, towns, or rural areas, will get at least basic medical service. That is what we appeal to our department. Now,
The
thank you.
government is unable to appoint qualified pharmacists.
Yeah.
And you have also stated that there is a lack of qualified pharmacists.
Yeah.
So what could be the reason behind it? Is there a lack of interest or some other reasons that we don't have qualified pharmacists?
No. That is the reason why I provided some figures also. See, first thing is our state needs institutes to produce enough pharmacists. Our state needs enough pharmacists. Now, institute থাকিব লাগে তো institute the pharmacist qualified pharmacist kanto pass out কৰিব লাগে তো না হয় না নহয় হলি state the একটা institute pi নাই pharmacist institute. Government bra at the most they can send is each year state la kota die 5 জন 6 জন ki pharmacy la courses puribole khota ase to na. So every year government, let's say that every year government is producing 5-10 pharmacists. At the same time, itia pharmacists thakian to be retire bi hoye ase muri ase to. The number is not increasing. It was a problem though. Pharmacists nai. We have inadequate qualified registered pharmacists. That is the main problem. It's not that we don't want to employ. We want to employ. We want to save our business. Because this is not just business. Okay, of course, there might be some rotten apples. Rotten apples can be thakiboda moen community dibi. We are not denying that. Holy most of us, moen bi itula business run gurado, it is for our sustenance. Moen itu why family survive kuriaje. On top of that, we are also providing service. Moen itu bi ase de. Moen la bhavanabi. This is unlike other business. This is an ethical business. Moen itula thought phukina moen kuri de. Holibi itia doile thousands of families are dislocated.
So I'll just supplement something.
Okay.
There are 1,157 pharmacies in Nagaland.
Yeah.
So according to the data, there are 278 registered pharmacies.
Yeah.
Where 252 are government employees.
Yes.
So 26 pharmacies are named in this 1,156 pharmacies. So what I want to know is how currently, how are you operating the pharmacies? Are you providing training to those men in the pharmacies, or how is it?
No.
Okay. Just to supplement my friend, I would be happy to now put it. What I want to know is, since you are saying that there are no qualified pharmacies,
Yeah.
no, but so how are the pharmacies being run? So without a qualified pharmacies,
Yeah.
so how are these being running? So how are they providing the medicines to the people?
Actually, inaje. Moen kwa nisina Nagaland de first place by department by it strictly implement kona IC wile do. No pharmacy would have been running without a registered pharmacist. Moi kwa nisina department by itu license, ready-made license disi do moenge. Na, of course we were ignorant of the law. We admit that part. And ignorance is not an excuse. We also accept that. That was the system. That was the system. Because Nagaland de pharmacist na thakya right and pharmacy license to dian na that tribunal na bi busina Nagaland DV ra ekta interview lo adem de controlling and licensing authority ba bi busi. Tribunal form gorna then based on experiences. 5 years experience, 10 years experience itu ange thank you abi dise. Pharmacist certificate dise. They were appointed as pharmacists, as registered pharmacists. Paramedical Institute TV 2 years course introduced kursi then. It's not diploma okay. Certain policy in our then it mitigate grow immediate they produce a huge number of pharmacists through that course. In our Julina is to government dakpabe itu kurise. To pharmacies can be run globally though out of question. Out of question thangje. So presently, most of the pharmacies are running without pharmacists. It's either based on experience. Bisi wala to ile ekta pharmacy de buibo. Tadi ba experience gain grow, doctor knowledge gain grow. Ina wana self-taught aje. Self-taught aje. That is how our system is running.
In your statement, clearly stated that the government and the department does not provide any clear-cut solution for this problem. So what is your suggestion for this issue, apart from asking the extension of time?
No, ito na. Inaita siya. Like you pointed out, we are asking for extension of time na. In the meantime also, we are not just going, when China any representation din, we sit with them. We try to talk to them. When the time bujubo na gitu labi when approach kuya je. In the meantime, when la expectation be do je. Let's come up, let's sit together. Ikilo buiwo jalna. Let's discuss the matter. In depth. Aro ekta solution ekta anibo try go jalna. Kili mani sabe. Itya Nagaland de 700, 800, 900 pharmacy pon goisi golido. Ultimately public is suffer go. Ito ba, yes, we need to move forward. Kwan isina Nagaland bi, buila ina thagise when buila ba ina thagise itula system di thagibo itu noy. We need to move forward. Holbi ekta move forward korole do government bi come on, let's sit together. Ekta transition korole do ekta chalna ekta solution ekta bisarabo chalna. Na, let the transition be smooth. In the meantime, when we pariadak research pharmacists to employ guru. Na, our department rabi, come on, do your best. Bring pharmacy institutes. Ekta na duita dinda ajikali to private institutes can be anibo barbo. Anina institute ekta na chalna alag state kan ge pit kona pasta chuita anina. Ina ona produce enough pharmacists so that the transition will be smooth. If and when the government comes with such a policy, if and when the state will have enough pharmacies, we don't need the government to ask us to tell us to close down our shops. We will shut down our shops on our own, voluntarily.
Itu pharmacist to shortage ha lagaman jodi bi ita do ami khan ki communicate kora do bahar bra itu pharmacist kan anya khan to itu bi bon ho jaise ita do ite bi konti nai bi nai inika ho ma jodi ita do apni bahar bra bi pura manu bi certificate bi ani kine cholibo na paribo to ami khan ko to bra cholibo ami khan itu kane agide sadi kwani sina ami khan to to department ki ko bole mon taka to itu time do aro extend korbi na iniga hoisukule ami khambi itu time de kinika hole de parebo itu la bi bisarebo do iniga bi na hole ami khambi kinika gurubo ami kan aji du iniga ho jese itu bara aji du sob ai gini iniga kotha kuras de
Because journey was not qualified pharmacists to find. You are just running the pharmacy and experience that you have from sitting with some doctors or in other some pharmacies. So only with each time extension, money, you know that pharmacies, after pharmacy to polluted doctor is now in many places, no? Because without prescription, the dawai diya can be aside. Because China mohan itu hajo, then pharmacies, other pharmacy they thaga mamon right. Dawai itu khaile bal hobo, ini. So that means you are doing it without the actual qualification you are having, just out of the experience. So now you are asking for time extension. So abhiyan the key solution, tade key grow. Because just asking for time extension.
bisarebo ami khan
Tadi na, tadi mo ikta point ikta stress ko ulit muna siya. Mo ikan, of course, when kiba gradually na siya. When extension of time mangya siya, ito ikta. So that we will hunt further. Na, we will hunt for pharmacists Pisijun pai aside achibi kalibi ekjun duijun do ini pai na na ina ona pisijun pai aside babi aru moin department ke approach kujo sabi itula problem ase there is shortage of pharmacies. Why not in the meantime abanian chalna ekta come up with certain courses na ekta course ekta kiba ekta introduce kurina abanian ina usukule we are even willing to pay for that course na we are even willing to pay bear the burden. Holibe transition korule do we are also losing our livelihood. That is also one thing. Of course, that is not the main point we are stressing upon, but one is a solution to Bisawon immediate. Ekta course can be introduced kurilibi kichai. One is a department by pharmacist appoint guru na pareba 3 months training course di na nurse can get PhD de tawai tibo di asido. Na. So if the government can come up with such kind of policies for a certain period of time, we are not asking for 20-30 years, okay? We are not asking for 10-20 years. In a few years, ekta transition group ina ekta kurina ina husibulido our state will also have enough pharmacies in the meantime. Na aru moen nimide holibi moen la livelihood ase kia. Itu la business to na. Moen la livelihood pi ase. To husibulido moen je olop time disibule moen bi pharmacist appoint group parle group no hisibule moen bi alag business kandi holibi transition group le na. Transition period to all of extend good wina itu ko as moing gwadon le.
One question, you're talking about extension of time.
Yeah.
Right. So how do you have a limited period, like 5 years, 10 years, any time frame set for the extension?
No, we are not demanding for 3 years, 5 years or 10 years. But we are appealing to the department to give us a reasonable period of time. Reasonable.
So what is that reasonable period of time according to your association?
That is what we are saying.
Until such time, the government is ready with qualified pharmacists. Because I just want to come in here. Pharmacy amount how you are running without qualified pharmacy. We also admit that we are running pharmacy without qualified pharmacists. Only necessity is the matter of invention. One is not the needs of the hour, the needs of the time, compel us to choose this profession. This pharmacy is a novel profession. Just jump into this profession. Only be looking to expect the needs of the town, the needs of the area, our area. Pharmacy 9. I myself will suffer. So why not we find some solution? Medical field is medical company they can't go for. I'm just taking an example. For a few years, then I got experience in medical things, then left that company and back home and started pharmacy. So still now I'm running more than 20 years. I'm running pharmacy. So experience with that. Though I didn't have that qualified pharmacist qualified certificate, not a pharmacy holder, certificate holder. Likewise, everyone has their own story. How we come into this pharmacy profession. Itu need based ang mga nainan join ko lang kanya. Asal to it is pharmacy of muna former speaker doesn't so bad with it because I don't go explain. We are not just doing a business here. We are also trying to bring some change and try to help to serve the people. Pharmacy business it is something like not like other business. Itu karena amount aru aplikam ni janwi there just compare with other business. Pharmacy business is running with full discipline. Our rules and regulations busy as Today we'll have to maintain the stocks, temperature, guidelines busy as we are observing, we are following, we are obeying all the rules and regulations. Inya guna thakatu itia amohan ki itulaga issue ulai dia tu actually it is not an issue. Yade public here misunderstanding kuraise. It is not that we are cooperating with the department also. We are trying to cooperate with the department. Department your pharmacy cannot be run without pharmacist, experienced pharmacy, and it's a qualified pharmacist. So Google documents, everything is perfect. The license were issued by the department only. So Google criminal is not treat. तो amala golti ki ase bole to we don't have pharmacies, and we are also trying to bring out to come with the pharmacies, and we are mohni bisari ase. तो state amala Nagaland state la conditions aise bole ite tali bula number to koi dise ground ready tide aise bole we don't have pharmacies, qualified pharmacies nai thaka to alop thaki ase 278 dikhai ase idu pra bi bisi ko dilu pra ani bi one figure pa ditu paise to ta khandi maximum to the government employed ase na pura 26 song paise 26 itu bi to ta master in pharmacies, doctor in pharmacies grown ase they will go for another job, so pharmacy de boibo kon mai 7-8 lakhs खर्चा करना किन्या pharmacist को इतना बोल गए मनो तो इतो बड़े ताकि willing दिन आए तो हमारा state अमान बिसारे से ना पाए तो इतो बड़ा ठीक है एदिका ओले कोई ना अमान दोसरा state भी अमान convince करा आने वाले कुछ ताकि ना आए वाले मना आए भी convince करा आए वाले बंदे again the department say will not allow from outside तो where do we go एदिका से आर्थिक ऐसे तो pharmacy is not the only way of survival तो अमान बंद कर दे बोले public to suffer करो तो अब बंद कर देबो इधर ताई बंद कर देबो हम सब बंद कर सकले कुन सफर करबा दिया न ते हम सब पब्लिक सफर करबो तो किले बोले इतिहास अभी किने का उपाय ता करना भी अपने से बोले ग्रुप गर्ने पनि डकुमेन्ट्स लगेना फार्मेसिस्ट लगा एदु डिग्री होल्डर kan D farm गोला सर्टिफिकेट तो लगेना हेल करना छ तो माने only with the person is not going to sit in the pharmacy all the same person is dealing with the medicine, only the certificate is hanging in the pharmacy. Is this no? So it will justify group or man, it will no. It will bring moi go to moi to interest in it group. Daina moi no hai kulen nai, moi na pare kulen nai, chari go. Only it to jaina bisaribo pharmacist, bisarina adibo, tade hang group. It to manu ke have to pay another 10, 15 to 20,000 extra for that documents only. Whereas the person is not willing to sleep in the pharmacy. Only boabi the boy budai. Idia thaki se boabi Dimapur Chumu itu area sabi. Bisi bakto itu just certificate hanging the person not there. India context India condition. So ground ready to sign up come group lagi. Now department क्या मैं कोले मंतो they don't have to run corner to corner, they don't have to enforcing this. itu nakuribi kona nibi iman dupi kuru kamna. Jadi government para diploma dosra B farm na holibi at least diploma institute nisna ekta state ya dishi kole. Every year 200, 100, 200 pass out kuri kole. Within 2 years diploma course 2 years है. तो 2 years ते 200, 200 वैसे within 4-5 years ते pharmacy से बढ़ता हो जाओ diploma करेंगे. ताई खान निजे है बिसारी ना जाए आए जाओ pharmacy ले. We don't have to go looking for them. They themselves will come. और वो pharmacy ले provide करो. तो इधर का situation ना हाथों तो itu एक तो fully implement kule aware with nature touching mana state ta solution to government ni dara weakness jani bona ge khali pharmacy ke blame kori na aro public kan na jane pharmacies kan sab bon kori debe itu kan ko kam nai na jana ane poise tu koibi kun te adena te kun suffer karo public ke suffer karo hamara district area for the college na there are 8 health center community health center ajikali health and welfare center ko 18 district 18 sub centers. Tadabi, they are supposed to be pharmacists. We are not condemning that GNM, Kurigana, Takahan, they are not qualified. They are qualified in their field, but they are not supposed to handle medicine as per the Act. The medicine dispense group only pharmacy here, so you can nurse can be from like BSc nursing, MSc nursing, Tahan. They can qualify as the honey. Will be there by the Act. They don't allow. They didn't allow to handle the medicine. And it was so. It the I should strictly follow protocol. Stop the loophole. It took among 20-30 years experience with medicine deal with the Takamuki. Just shut down Ruby with them. It took crowded no. Will be Sabi, analyze Ruby, authenticate Ruby, Paramanukitu, Ekta situation, Ekta condition. They are Nigana, run Ruby. So it did not hope until such time that among the state. Itu pharmacist ready bagina institute anina itu ready ngatok tu itu ek to fully implement nokrile bahala se ekta bridge bangabo khole to alternative age bisari to age bridge bangai dekhi na gari jabo alternative route age bisari na to alternative to rakhi na itu bridge bangai na ten manu bi no itu nisna amon itu fully implement group kore to itu age ekta alternative bisari na khole dibo to mon bi ready asto itu garne ko ase public khami itu jani bona
kombal laga PC can be government appointees as a holiday general public khane buhi ase takhan to appointment to ekta alag bohadu manu alag iniga laga bi mohan la evidence ase mohan lagode na government to kitia itu department di itu lagi se kole mohan itu khan sob ready ase ami khan takhan lagode ki bishi hudise ami khan department lagode ki niga kurele bol hobo lekha lekhi ami khan lagode bishi ase de itu khan do department ke dise department ke itu khan bi answer mohan ke dibi itu khan de mohan itu khan lage department para tu takhan la phale bari information dia se takhan dia laga aru kwala do ala ko jese newspaper de goje more than 300-400 unemployed pharmacies ase 300 bi puncha no according to department ratio to ami khan to kote jabo ite tu takhan ekjon aibo kiba kibi likhi ne public ke pakala kori dibo itu laga na hoy tu ite tu bal bara agi de ko nisina bal bara kuri kene ami khan la state to forward kurubole laga time ase itu bara ami khan aji yete thagya do agi de kuse ami khan to department laga against nai de ami khan bi kurubole ase ole bi kine ka bisaribo rasta ami khan ke bi dekhabi aru ami khan ke bi mudo kuribi to ale ami khan to department ra mohang ne expenditure bear kuribi ko na hoy to rasta khan ami khan ke dekhabi to ami khan bi bisaribo kurubo do ole bi ko ni sinai te du ini ka hoje to ami khan ko de jabo imam family to ko de jabo ini ka concern thagya bra aji ami khan ide haiside
moi ganna odola question de previous question de moi ekta answer dibo mon jado na we are not asking for a specific period of time only we are asking for a reasonable extension of time when kile reasonable do koise boli do when ko nisina we are all stakeholders there when ki dia pon go dise boli bi that is not the solution public suffer go to when reasonable solution ekta do when opinion di ina ase we are all stakeholders pharmacy community department medical experts we have medical experts in the field of medicine in Nagaland also if necessary invite from outside inabi gwana let's sit together look at the ground reality na what is the reality in our state it ek par sabo chalna in our government come up with a policy ekta anibi sabi 5 years tak to moi institute iman kiba kuri dibo ina kuri dibo moi itu solution ani dibo ina ekta kuri na ekilo de work out koise bole the public will not suffer transition will be smooth our state will also move ahead itu aside kota do itu noise bole do etia la do solution noi do of course we'll lose our business that is also one thing let's leave it holi public to moi koima dimabor kande thagi anu na itu iman seriously do na pabi uli bhabi holibe moi etia figures ko noa dia din nisna sabi do Melori district ti 6 ta pharmacy thagisi ekta bi pharmacist nai so all the 6 pharmacies will be closed down on top of that public health units tv ko 1 2 3 4 5 6 6 ta ti do nai aru sob village ti do public health units bhi nai to usibole Melori gando ele matha phika asibole chal kari hire robe fekte tawai gini bole jabo fekte bi pharmacy bachibo na bachibo ki jane to chal na ina nukuribo na public bhi suffer nukuribo ina una solution permanent solution ekta bisar boli do I think it's up to the department and that will be our reasonable period of time the solution that they come up with the solution the road map that the department comes up with will be the reasonable period of time for us
so the health minister has denied your appointment also your organization is yet to meet with the chief secretary signifying that you're not getting an appointment yet. What if this continues and then your pharmacy is forced to close? Will you just close down or will you take to the streets or something? What plans do you have?
No, see, as of now we don't have any such plan of action. We are not going to come out on the streets. We are not going to resort to some violent actions. We are not going to resort to any violent actions. but we want to knock sense into the heads of the department officials as well as the government to face reality. To face reality. Because Sati Bhagwan is invention is the mother of needs. According to our needs, we invent. We innovate. We innovate. To tell a certain period of time, in the meantime, a workable solution, workout kurivinagi, it will appeal we still now we are only appealing.
We are not against the system, we are not against the department for what they are doing. We only request the government or the department to look beyond the words on the paper. It has a month. Only paper to implement ground education. Amanti come behind us, just see behind the hearts behind our work. Amanti come yes, we don't deny, as my former speaker has said, pharmacy among Nije Pravi among the except number of pharmacy because it bring down our reproduction. Pharmacy that reproduce be turned down with it. ABC medicine ABC is not long will it be out of 190% pharmacy with purpose with bridging queen at the background says Baba, doctor, nurse, doctor, nursing home, like my friend, his father is doctor. Itula legisi doinan kulabsi bakasne. Aro mana manu bisi baksai gule. Amoy B farm gornai, M farm gornai only be through my experience. Amoy starting to do. Amoy kiman learn it is more. It is, I think, good enough to at least educate people. Because if I am especially Naga people are very weak in this medical field. Man doctorate kuna thakilibi, engineer kuna thakilibi, I can medicine to time ki khai dina. Simple. We are trying our best to educate them. Aro itia sabi to danger. The danger when we talk about the pharmacy among pila question be among pra kunda ke medicine wrong medication guna mulai jara reporting. Kali educate as far as possible we are trying to educate people from all that.
Because according to the law, like government kam kura manidi to kurwa na pare. Whereas Kohima de sale de bishi back to Kohima la pharmacist te check kuri sabi. Ito na government employee da sudo. To tahandu ko je apni khantu qualified na go apni khantu tik na go ami khantu criminal nation na to ta khantu ki ase mohan itu bi bujibo na pare itu bora ki karne ami khan ki ini go pura je ho itu bi bujibo na pare iniga laga situation de thagi jaise to iniga la situation de ita to according to this drugs controller laga office de saisho kole to June this June to last ho jaise to age de dekha nishina itu letter khantu validity to 28 tak ase mohan do paisa de validity to paisa 28 laga disido komadu holebi itu khanbi thagilibi dikhilibi ita to cancellation order to sob logode koima de cancellation order pai jaise to iniga goche according to the drugs and cosmetic law apni itia dokan khulile 2 saal jail de jabo inigo jaise to ami anko khuli bolte to itu time na ami kan kiniga kurubo ami hanko de jabo itu bi hudya je ami khan so bi akha gura je go itu department do ami khan laga pli bi huni gene ekta kiba ta understanding da higine kurili to biji balo bola na hole di further course do ami khan bi ki kurubo na je ne hole bi inika bi hoji kuli to ini kotha bra agent ge respect kuri gene agent inika kuri thagela itu bi hona kuli to opanai na inika la situation bi ai je mo no de na itu bra ami khan department lo kodi bi ko bole mon thake tu inika na hoy gene ami khan ge check kura nijina tan bi government employee kuri gene rang gura khan check kurbi na tan employee kuri gene mani substitute kura khan rakhibi na for example meluri employed pharmacists holibi tai pharmacist buhanai do dosara mane just merely graduate mane buya do ami kan itu kan la figure job district ami kan bisari ase kiman ase kinika ase fake ase na nai office para paper de issue kura de hosa ase na ami kan tu bi sa ase holibi tu kan me tabi tik nai to ami kan ge ko je target tu kali ko hima town dimapur chumu inika khane target kure what is to the rest of the district to kiman suffer kure se ami kan tu kan sob sagine itu agide ko ni jina ahigina jama kure gene inika hole tu na hobo jane je Nagaland organization bisi ho jaise mo abi itu dui alchi lagi kintu itu compel ami kan ge compel pura pura ami kan inigao higene ajia higene ami kan rights tu iniga ko asdi.
One last question from my side. Earlier you had alleged that the department is issuing license without asking for certificate.
Yeah.
So you mean to say that the department has been randomly issuing pharmacy license to licensees?
No, we'll leave that answer to the department.
Takani issue
But-
policy to takan ge dibo.
Ito license as a camera cover group parle well and good. Well and good.
How much do they charge for registration? May we also know that the monthly
Ito
From person to person there.
Ito-
Subjective, you know.
ito ina ase.
uniform.
Not uniform.
Muy kwan ni sinana.
So there is a backdoor appointment kind of thing.
Oh, yes.
Issuing license, so you admit that.
No, it's something like this. Something like
You
this
have
here.
the credentials to
Yeah,
get the
yeah.
license.
Yeah.
Even if you are not a certified pharmacist.
Whether the department resorted to corrupt practice or not, we are not alleging anything. But we'll just leave the answer to the department.
To answer.
But this is the fact. Moi itu license apply gura dende application ekta likhise jena department ke dise department ba odo din dai bidai gise chaise chado dile itu license hand over gusia yade SR Chautori ase tain bra itu qualified person tain bra designate kodise de tain bra di dise department bra
yes.
dise.
Ito ang tinggal application they mentioned there.
No. They are only now when it is there. We are supposed to, take the certificate as well as who knows, even the person concerned. Holy department ba moin je eto din de bise chaise SR Chautori la nam do hali dise registration number 334 hali na dise. Department ba eto dise do. Na.
Why didn't you complain in the first place when you know that it's faulty?
No, that was the system. Okay. And like I said, being layman, okay? Being layman, we are not familiar with all these legal
Terms.
all these legal intricacies, let's say. So we got the license, we came back happily, we opened our shop, we didn't know that. But I even haven't seen who SR Chautori is. Not even in my dream. Only now I am coming to realize that, I have to produce that certificate also.
See, that may not be the same case in every person. A lot of time after that. Amela case a lot of case there for lot of. Only aman ke to anibi badu criteria ekta fulfill kuru garne ana. Like amount driving license होना भी की बना भी residential permanent residential certificate no NOC any भी बनिस ना तो those are the required documents you bring कोई ना DC तो अमान तो सबमिट कर देंगे तो only at that time यदि तक हम without pharmacies cannot be run कोई ना clear cut from the day one तक हम कोई DC बोले हम खान दी उनको go for another option pharmacy run बोले chance ही नहीं कोई ना इतने दिन हम तो सब professionally choose को पड़ा कोई भी Idula to aman ke pona. Aman just to fulfill the criteria ekta anibi ko se am se ukilo se aman ke authorize dise pharmacy khuli gula. Mala amante ase pharmacy bi. To thik ase khuli daga dente 20 years upor run gura pichite idu 20 years ko to ini na renew gura every 4 years renew guri na ahi ase. To renew gura pichite ko bi na next year to apni ke bon hobe dai na. Complete precaution no pare to. Guri na last day kun ba to 30 years run gura me 25 years run gura pichite apni ta qualified no hai ko to
Latest renewal to, it was last year, January the latest. It will department ma renew gure laga se. Ami ka mara na hoy. It will as day. Itu department itu ka takani issue gure se. Oye, first pale tu takan mohan na jani libi takan tu jani asu do. To ini ka hoy gule tu renew gura tan dam dengan tu ini na hobo de gole tu hoy do. Last year tabi na itu भी issue gure se tu ite na. तो इशू गुरासे आरो भंग गुरासे तो आमी कभी ना जने होसे इदु वरा इतु खान आंसर दो डिपार्टमेंट है आंसर करिले बा आमी कभी ना जने इदु आंसर
Actually, it bomb row ko notification ni kita bisa.
21
Taikan 2020 de time to time la kiba to change kuri de time la stance to change kuri de konoba time di koi ase then 2020 ba disi when I stick kuri ase then konoba time di koi ase 2020 de newspaper de through newspaper then publish kuri dise but because of covid we then udula issue de les sideline granite par rakhi rahise ina way ase holibi one load personally ina una ahia do le 2021 September ra ase na iduwa one de paria da kan do appoint kuri ase do
Manuhi na thagya bra ko to bra ni buna kiman paase iman tu pura se ha holibi manuhi na thagya bra mi kan bi itu the answer digging ga ko
Logic to key ase. Pharmacies to 9. No, pharmacies cannot be run without pharmacies question. Only they are still issuing the license. Still to don't do it. Aru yes to. If I am handing na paina se, bola la issue video handing dele na paina se. Aru kile notun diye se. So itu in proportionate as to. Itu balance aina debo lagi to. Pharmacies lagi kule pharmacies kiman ase Nagaland de takana report ase registered pharmacy because they didn't allow from outside state out of the state. So it is very much in the record. So they should know how many pharmacies are vacant. Now, kiman pharmacies fill kuro paribo. It is only nine tahan license bi dibo lagi to. Will be number of license drugs license issued by the do. They figure that 1,157 ase. Will be actual dukai na board or BC ase debi. Why substitute 3-4,000 license bi issue bunas bi. Kuma substitute le amount ko na le. So bigas. Will be they run about 1,000 class run kuro ase. So into TV among we are running sort of these pharmacies, qualified pharmacies.
itu kan laga actual number kan jani bo nimide ami kan kiman issue kuri dije itu kan actual number jani bo nimide on the 1st of May this year ami kan itu letter kan bi department gen dije itu kan answer mo hangi dibi na itu kan bi dianai do itebi mo hangi apni ami sabo bole itu mo hangi asu dehe ami kan itu kan so ba ai ne mo hango de ase
RTI ase ko.
yes
RTI na ini.
We have put around 11 questions. They have answers so far only 2 questions.
So when did you put up this ITI?
1st May itu ora age de condition apni kan lagila ami kan logde na liso basde itu kum kam de jaise kum khali ase kum muri je kum badu mohan janya se de ini lawi thagibo libi condition ami kan itu kan ge kwa dole do ami kan bi ini ga je itu bane ekta understanding gune kotha gule bishi bal hobo ini ga para department gi ko bole ma.
it is mandatory on the part of a pharmacy to appoint a registered pharmacist. We understand that. When it comes to that law, we are at fault. We are at fault. The reason I have said before. Department has resorted to many, what term you call it or what they call it, let them use the term, but they have resorted, they have stepped out of the boundary. But we are not accusing the department, okay? We are not trying to find fault with the department. We are not accusing them because that is not the solution. That is not the solution. But ANBA is of the view that only the general public will suffer. So we appeal to the department to come out with some sort of solution so that at least the transition to a better Nagaland will be smooth.